This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becker here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
What's good, everybody? Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, the Fuego Fuego, Marcello Fuego. And I'm here with Wrestling with Entertainment. Y'all already know what it is. One of the dopest podcasts out. Y'all check them out.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today. The trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Mr. Fuego, Marcello Fuego.
Yeah, you already know. Fuego.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on the show, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell us where you'll be bringing the Fuego next, event-wise?
Oh, most definitely. Well, so right now it's November 14th. So tomorrow night, actually, I will be at North Texas of Dallas College. I will be in a tag team championship match for the King of Sports Tag Team Championships with my partner, Xavier Gotti, as you know. And we are Most Wanted. So that's what we'll be next. And then the following weekend, on the 22nd, we will be at MPX in Fort Worth, Bedford, Texas. So as you already know what Most Wanted, we always on the run, so we got plenty for you.
Oh, absolutely. And where can we find you on social media and merchandise?
You can find me on Facebook at Marcello GQ Jackson. You can find me on Instagram at Marcello Fuego. When it comes to merch, right now we're just selling merch in person. So if you want something, interested in a T-shirt, stickers, pictures, or anything, just send us a DM and we'll get it over to you.
Perfect. And you don't even have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Most Wanted. Can you tell us about your relationship with Xavier Gotti?
Well, as some people know and some people may not know, but Xavier Gotti is my cousin. We've been in a tag team for not even a year yet. It's only been about 11 months. And, man, we've done a lot in this short time together that we've been together. I was actually looking this year of Most Wanted. Like I said, it's only been 11 months for us. Man, just in this 1 year alone, in the year of 2025, we've had 37 matches together. We've hit over 20 cities. We've had 17 debuts. We've held 3 titles so far. We have an opportunity to take our 4th title tomorrow night. And yeah, I mean, this is just the first year for Most Wanted, so we're just getting started. But yeah, we've also been out of the state at least 5 times. We went to Arizona. We've been to Georgia. We've been to Tennessee, Arkansas. So we've been around when it comes to the southern states. And like I said, this is just our first year. So I'm really excited, honestly, to see where Most Wanted goes, because what Most Wanted has accomplished in a short amount of time is really kind of been unreal. It doesn't really happen. I know just right off the top, it takes some guys years just to get out of state, and we were able to do it in our first year. Glory to God. All glory to God for sure. I wouldn't take any of the credit, but yeah, man, it's been a wild year for Most Wanted, that's for sure.
What does that mean? What does that kind of mean to you for Most Wanted to catch fire like it did in this first year?
For me, it really meant a lot because my cousin's been wrestling for more years than me, I'm more newer. And so it was really an opportunity for me to show everybody what I can do, to show everybody what we can do together. And like we're in Texas here, and the wrestling scene in Texas is pretty crazy. There's lots and lots of competition out there. There's a lot of great names. There's a lot of great talent. And so just doing everything that we can to get our name up with the rest of those names, that's been the goal. And it's really meant a lot, man. Me and my cousin have spent a lot of time on the road together this year. We've grown closer together as well. And it's been an amazing opportunity. It's been a great experience. Yeah, like I say, I'm excited for Most Wanted, and I really can't wait to see what we do in our second year.
And I am, out of curiosity, how did Most Wanted kind of form? Because you were on a pretty successful singles run, and Xavier was on a pretty successful, singles run as well. So how did you guys kind of come together to say, okay, we're going to be, a tag team now?
Well, first off, James, I just want to say I appreciate your kind words, man. I've just been trying to do everything that I can, just to try to get my name out there. But the fact that, it's being noticed and people like you are catching on to what we're doing, I just really appreciate that. But when it comes to answering the question, Most Wanted actually started in a way that doesn't normally, it wasn't normal. That's one thing I can tell you for sure. Like as I mentioned, my cousin's been wrestling longer than me, so I already knew he was wrestling. And for me, I was training and performing at AAPW, which is my school here in Austin, Texas, that I attend to. And as you mentioned, I was doing some single stuff over there. I was getting my name out there as well. But then one day, I don't know, we just hit each other up, and it's like, hey, cuz, you're wrestling, I'm wrestling, like, what if we did a tag team? And it ironically, when you mentioned that we were doing singles and stuff before, that's what kind of makes it difficult, was because we were already kind of doing things singles wise. So it did kind of leave up the question, like, should we do a team or not, But then, we really grabbed inspiration from DX. And with DX, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they were very, very successful as singles competitors before they did DX.
Right.
And that kind of the inspiration that we took, where we felt like, well, if I'm this good as a singles competitor and you're this good as a singles competitor, what if we joined up together and see where things go? And so that's kind of like how it started. It literally just started with just a message over Facebook, like, hey man, you want to join a tag team maybe? And this is my first tag team that I've ever been in, so it's been a great experience. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and yeah, man. It really just started like on Facebook, man, just sending a message over. It was a little difficult, and it has been difficult because we live in different cities. He lives in San Antonio. I'm here in Austin, Texas. So ironically, we actually haven't really been able to like train together and work together or anything like that, but we've still been able to put out the amount of work that we've done. So when the next year comes and we start training more together and things like that, I really feel like the possibilities are endless for Most Wanted.
Absolutely. That being said, what's a pet peeve about Xavier that you just don't understand?
Well, with my cousin, I mean, everybody's their own person. Everybody has things about them. But I mean, for my cousin, the one thing that really gets on my nerves is just like, I'm always trying to keep him focused, and he's always worried about some girl. He's always texting some girl. He's always on the phone with some girl. Anytime we're talking about matches, it's just always girls, girls, girls. He's very girl crazy. He loves him some single mothers. So, but I mean, when it comes to pet peeves, yeah, I mean, that's my cousin. I love him. So at the end of the day, everything's always cool. But yeah, that man is crazy. Is girl crazy.
You'd probably be in Mercedes Monet title territory if he had his eye on the ball a bit more.
Well, thankfully for us, it hasn't really been a problem. It's something that I personally, it gets on my nerves. But at the end of the day, when Most Wanted steps in that ring and we step between those ropes, we show each and every person who we are, what we're about, and that we're here to take titles, championships, and in my cousin's case, here to take your baby mama as well. So, we've already been able to hold 3 titles. Maybe we would have held more, who knows? But for right now, I'm just grateful for what we've done.
Hell yeah. That being said, the night you won the ACW tag team titles, you actually got stripped right then and there. Can you tell us about that?
So, yes. So we did. That was our very first tag team championship victory. It was at ACW in San Antonio. And yes, we won the titles. And at the time, at the company with ACW, really all year long, there's been kind of a pest, kind of more of like a pain in our ass. And her name is Godmother. And that's the whole thing, is that I guess she just hates the fact that everybody at ACW loves us or something like that. I don't know what it is, but she has some kind of vendetta against Most Wanted. And it's been like that since day one. And so she's kind of an authoritative figure when it comes to ACW. She would go back and try to go against the grain when it comes to the owner, Jesse, there. And, I mean, that was just what she was doing. She was just trying to abuse her authority on the first night, trying to strip us and things like that. Thankfully, we handled everything, and we talked with the upper management at ACW, and it was null and void. She did not have the actual authority to strip us. So thankfully on record, it goes to show that Most Wanted won those tag team championships, and we've actually been the reigning tag team champions at ACW ever since then. And that would have been January of 2025. So it's almost been a year now.
All right, coming up on 365.
Yes, sir.
Now, I did ask Xavier this as well. I'm interested to hear your response as well. Is Big Time Rod a part of Most Wanted?
So big time Rod, man, he's doing big things. He's doing a lot of stuff over at Row and down over in Houston. Big time over there. So I'm really proud of everything he's doing. When it comes to Big Rod is someone who was there for us at the time of when we created Most Wanted, and he's always been like a cool, close friend. At the moment, we haven't really been able to do much with him. We haven't worked any matches with him outside of the one that we had at King of Sports. But when it comes to the future, I mean, we never know what the future holds. And, wrestling, you never say never. So, he's a very close personal friend of Most Wanted. And it's just one of those things where you just have to stay tuned to see where things go, because you really never know what can happen with that.
Okay. Now,
But then, he's not an official member of Most Wanted. Most Wanted contains Marcello Fuego and Xavier Gotti. So, and we've been running the whole tag team scene and trying to highlight that, like I said, all over the South, all the way from Arizona, all the way to Georgia, Tennessee, and on. So.
Now, we talked about, Xavier Gotti, obviously your cousin, good relationship, tag team. Can you tell us about that time you wrestled a cage match against your uncle?
Yeah, it seems like I have a lot of family, huh? Well, that's me though. I'm the family guy, and that was literally a very crazy experience. whether it's more to stay in character to explain it, or whether it's more to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit. But nonetheless, it was an experience I'll never forget. My uncle is who helped bring me into this business, and early on, I guess just me and him we didn't really see eye to eye. He was always a bad guy. He was always a heel when my uncle used to wrestle in his Hall of Fame career. And whenever I started wrestling, I kind of thought, I'll just follow in his footsteps. But, with his age, his heart has changed, and he's not the same person as he used to be. And so he didn't appreciate, my tactics early on. And I didn't appreciate him trying to hold me back. He was restarting a lot of my matches. He was costing me a lot of victories. So I just got fed up with it, man. And I just said, I want to challenge you for the owner of this company. I want to be the commissioner of AAPW. And he accepted the challenge, as I knew he would, because he has that pride. But he did throw me a curveball, because he did announce that match was going to be a steel cage match. And it was. We actually made history, because it was the first steel cage match in AAPW history.
I mean, a lot to unpack there. I mean, obviously, actual, uncle, legitimately. And, he actually trained you as well. So what did that match mean to you personally, to be in the ring with, obviously a legend, your coach, and, your uncle?
So to peel back the curtain, yes, we had our beef. We haven't seen eye to eye. But if I were to look back on it, it was a completely amazing opportunity. It was an opportunity that I got before I should have gotten it. I was very new. I believe me and my uncle's match was probably like my 7th match, something like that. It was very crazy. I was very new. I really didn't know what to expect. I had just started trying to get used to being just in a regular ring with ropes and turnbuckles, but now I had, steel, like actual real life steel that people bleed on. And it was a different thing to try to comprehend. And it was something that was definitely different to get, ready for when it comes to mindset. But as I mentioned, when I look back on it, I'm truly honored. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else. At the end of the day, like I said, I know me and my uncle didn't see eye to eye at the time, but he's taught me everything that I've learned in that ring. He's taught me so much outside of that ring. And it truly, truly means everything to me that we had that match together. Because for one, my uncle doesn't wrestle much anymore. So just the opportunity, as a matter of fact, he hasn't wrestled anyone since then. So it could, you never know. I mean, his pride is like that. Sometimes, if somebody pisses him off, he might jump back in there with them. But as of right now, it could go on record that me and my uncle's match was his very last match of his career. So it does mean a very lot to me. It holds a special place in my heart.
And not too long after that, you stole his car, no?
Well, you are talking about the Fuego Fuego, and at the end of the day, I'm going to do what it is that I have to do to catch a dub. And so, yeah, like I said, he was really pissing me off. He was costing me my matches. He was just really in my way. I was trying to break out. I was trying to show the world and AAPW what the Fuego can do. And he just, like I mentioned, he just kept getting in the way. And I guess just one of the nights I just had enough of it. And I just had to go Grand Theft Auto mode on him. And so, yeah, I did. These days, I'm not that, happy to mention it. But at the time, yeah, I did steal his car. And who knows, that could be, the backbone of where Most Wanted started. Most Wanted's all about 5 stars, always being on the run from the authority. And so maybe it's, a little bit of Most Wanted has always been in me.
I could look at that and I could see, yeah, that's the catalyst of what you're doing now.
Yeah, this car wasn't the first one I've stolen. As long as we don't send this to the police, we'll be all good. I trust you, James.
Yes. I will remain quiet. I ain't no snitch.
All right. Yeah, snitches get stitches, man. You don't want most wanted to come find you, bro.
No, I'm good.
Just joking.
These lips are sealed.
There we go.
So, obviously, you defeat Uncle Pops in that match, in the cage match, and you do become commissioner of AAPW. You actually got injured during your time as commissioner, no?
Yes, unfortunately, I did, and I guess that's what they say, man. Karma is a B for sure, because it came back in and it got me. Yes, I did end up tearing the labrum in my hip, and so it did put me on the shelf for 6 months, unfortunately. But within that 6 months, I had a lot of time to reevaluate everything and think twice about everything. And about that time when I came back after that 6 months out, I kind of had a change of heart a little bit. But yes, I was on the shelf for 6 months, and it was the worst 6 months of my life.
Did you get injured during a match?
It was not during a match.
How did you get injured?
So it was just training. But as a pro wrestler, training is very, very, how do I explain? It's intense. It's not something that you can take lightly. Training is a real deal. And I do feel like, as ironically as it sounds, majority of wrestlers probably get injured during training than they do in actual matches. But yeah, it did happen in training. And it was definitely a setback. It was unfortunate, especially the timing. It couldn't have been worse. I had just taken over the company, and it was my time to show them what I can do. And yeah, so I still was able to do that when it comes to, making the business decisions and things like that. I did do what I could to help take AAPW to the next level, which I do pride myself on, because I did. And but yeah, man, that injury definitely, it was a tough one for me.
You say, not at the best time. I would maybe say, at a good time, because you did just take over the company, and, you didn't have to necessarily be in the ring, because, obviously you're owning the company. You can have other people do that for you.
That's true.
Was that just like an important part of important time in your career to kind of learn more of the storytelling aspect of pro wrestling? Because you were on TV, you were part of the shows regularly afterwards, after the injury.
Yep. Well, yeah, to answer the question, if we wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit, it's for sure 100%. It was a good thing to be able to work on shows and be in front of the crowd, even though I wasn't able to be in the ring, because what a lot of people don't really pay attention to is wrestling is a lot more than just what we do in the ring. And one of the things is knowing how to work a crowd, knowing how to be in front of a crowd and not get nervous, knowing how to be confident in every situation. And that was one thing that did happen for me at that time. Since I wasn't able to be in the ring, I had no other choice but to focus on, like you said, the more story side of things. And I do think that was good for me. That's actually my favorite part of wrestling, is the storytelling and the drama and all the shenanigans, no matter which side of the ball I'm on. That's my favorite part of wrestling, and it always has been. It's probably one of the reasons why I joined wrestling. So to be able to kind of take the time to just focus on that aspect, it was a good opportunity for me.
Now, Can you tell us about the White Elephant match against Battleblade?
Oh man, James. Yeah, man. Yeah, James. Man, you done your research, man. Uh, so the White Elephant match with Battleblade. Wow. So at this point in my career, I have wrestled 52 matches. Oh, I'm sorry. That was this year. I wrestled 52 matches. However many I've had all like overall, I can't look at the stats right now. But my point is out of all the matches that I have had, the White Elephant match with Battleblade is one of my all-time favorites. You really just, to answer your question, you really just gotta let me know what side of the ball you want me to hit this from, because I can tell you just as a competitor what it was like and stuff. I can tell you personally what it was like. There's so much that goes into that match. It truly, like I said, is one of my favorite matches.
Hey, give us a bit of both. We like both ends of the coin, sides of the coin.
Okay. Well, as a competitor, it was one of my first matches where, you had to include weapons and things like that. Like up at this point, I had been in the cage, but I want to say this was about right after the cage.
Yes.
So, a White Elephant match for those that are listening that don't know what it is. It was like a Christmas type themed match where each opponent brings a gifts, multiple gifts. And then each gift is some sort of weapon or something like that. And the whole deal is we go in there and we start working our match. And, when you want to open a gift, and, it's a surprise to you just as much as it is to the crowd. And you just got to do what you can with what you got. It's very random, very unpredictable. It's one of those matches that really keeps you on your toes, not only as an audience member, but as a competitor as well in the ring. So that's the competitive side. When it comes to the personal side, Battleblade at the time, he had the whole audience completely just in La La Land. And I would tell them this. This is real. I really would tell them this, that I know Battleblade is someone else. Battleblade was not who Battleblade appeared to be. He was just a man under a mask. I knew who he was. I knew his true identity. And I don't just mean because I wrestled with him now, because I try to explain to everybody that they should know who he was. But anyway, nonetheless, this man actually did help train me and things like that. Very, very amazing person. One of my favorite people in wrestling. And so to be able to have a match with him was really, really good. It was something I'll never forget. It was a really fun experience. Sometimes in wrestling, you're so busy trying to be competitive and so busy trying to outshine the rest of your competition that sometimes you don't really think about, having fun. And this match in particular was one of the most fun matches I've ever had. I remember telling my wife, hey, I want to use like your hair dryer as a weapon and I'm gonna burn him with it. And she was like, okay, well, just make sure that you be careful because it's, it's brand new and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I got you. Don't worry. And unfortunately, Battleblade got his hands on that same hair dryer, and he was not careful at all. So it broke, and my wife was upset. So almost had to have another match when I got home. No, I was just joking. But yeah, seriously, that White Elephant match is in the history books for me. I love that match. And I hope one day maybe we can do it again. Who knows?
Hell yeah. I mean, it would seem like a lot of fun if Most Wanted was in a White Elephant match.
Yeah, that would be cool. I already know Most Wanted would, we'll do what we do and we'll steal the show. But yeah, a White Elephant match for Most Wanted would be fun.
Well, we talked about, your injury. And, the first match back, the first match that you come back from injury is against a legend called T-Ray. Could you tell us about that one?
So this is another really big moment in my career. It's crazy, the type of research you're doing, because you're not just bringing up certain things, you're bringing up pivotal moments, man. And so I gotta salute you, James, for that. But to answer your question, man, T-Ray from Wisher Motherfucker Woods. He is a Texas legend. He's wrestled everybody. He is somebody I highly, highly respect. And this is hard to unpack, really, because the situation was just very, very crazy. So what I mean by that is, for one, it was my first match back coming from a 6-month injury.
Right.
So I already had worries when it comes to that. I was worried about, is my body going to be able to perform the same way as it did before? Is the crowd going to respond to me the same way that they did? Am I still going to give off the fuego that I once gave off? There were so many thoughts that was going through my mind leading into that match just already. And then there came a point in time where I spoke with T-Ray. And at this time, T-Ray was in retirement. He had already retired. And we would joke around, and I'd talk to him about it, and I'd be like, yo, man, I really wish I could get a match with you one day, even though he was retired. But he had been retired a few times already. So I know him. I know that once that it starts itching, that he can't help but scratch it. And so, ironically, the stars lined up. And for me, it kind of lined up at a weird time for me, because that's where that match landed. When I came back, it was like, all right, who's my opponent going to be? T-Ray had just came out of retirement. He said, I have this one chance to do this match with you right now. I don't know if it'll happen in the future, but it can happen right now. And it just happened to be my first match back from a 6-month injury. And so, yeah, it was a mental challenge for sure. But it was one of those moments that in our lives that you really just have to buckle down, keep 10 toes down, know who you are, and do what you do. And that's what I did. And it was a great match. I'm proud of that one as well, especially because when you come back from an injury as a wrestler, it's not as easy as just kind of coming back. There's so many mental things. Sometimes you question if you're going to come back at all. Sometimes you question yourself: is this it for me? Am I done? Then you worry about getting hurt again. What if I get hurt again? Things like that all go through your mind as a competitor. So it's not an easy time, but God got me through it, and I'm very proud of that time, that match.
Is that a moment you take in the moment, or is it something that sets in afterwards? Like, wow, I did that.
A little bit of both. It's definitely something, leading into it, you have all this anticipation and things that are on your mind, and you're very excited but very nervous and things like that. And then there's the post, the post war. There's I made it through. There's we won. We did this. We conquered. So there's that side of it too. So that's where you become proud of yourself and things like that. So yeah, I mean, on both sides, it's a moment to take in.
Now, obviously, we've talked about your cousin. We've talked about your uncle. Can you tell us about Granny Fuego?
Granny Campos.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Granny Campos is someone who actually, I'm not sure if it was Battle Blade or if it was this other guy who was very, very similar to Battle Blade, known as Warsaw. But I do remember that he was in a match with one of my handpicks at AAPW, Lou Cameron at the time. And I remember them having a cage match, and Uncle Pops, him abusing his authority, really. But, that was just my mindset at the time. I was a little twisted. But the point is, is he decided that he wanted to ban me from ringside. He was going to have them have a cage match, Warsaw or Battle Blade, I can't remember who it was at the time, versus Lou Cameron in a steel cage match. And I want to say that was the second steel cage match of AAPW history. And Marcello de Campos was banned from ringside. And so, well, I mean, if you knew who Marcello de Campos was, then you understand that I'm not going to let something like that stop me from doing what I need to do. That's the thing about me is I am the man with the plan, always. And so I just decided, I'll give a call to dear old Granny Campos and let her know, how awful my uncle was treating me at the time. Wouldn't even let me come to the show. And so she felt some type of way about it. She marched herself on down to that show, and she had a part in, helping Lou Cameron win that match. And so I think I saw something on some clip where she threw a purse in the ring and had a break in it or something. She's, us Camposes, we're all a little crazy, but yeah, I didn't tell her to do all that, I promise. But yeah, so that's the story of Granny Campos. She helped me out one time. She came clutch. That's the OG. So, and I guess so. For those who don't know, to pull the curtain back, I was Granny Campos. But it's still all the same. I wasn't gonna let Uncle Pop stop me from doing what I need to do. You're not gonna ban me from ringside, but you can't ban Granny. You ban Marcello, but you can't ban dear old Granny Campos. Not with her trick hip. You can't do that. So, so it worked out perfectly fine, and that's just a little piece of the mind of Marcello Fuego. If you try and cross me, or if you think you're one step ahead, I'm 5 steps further. And that's what I try to be in the ring. That's what I try to portray. And like I mentioned, I'm the man with the plan.
We've talked about all the issues you've had with Uncle Pops. You did actually reconcile with him. You saved him from Jack's Knight, which led to a chairs match, no?
That is correct. It comes a point in time, it's one of those things like this. I can make fun of my uncle. I'll pick on my uncle. I'll beat my uncle in a steel cage match.
You can still.
But the moment that somebody else thinks that they can put their hands on my family, that's where Jack Knight and Law Botello, it was Lawrence Botello who was leading the charge on that one. It's moments like that where they had me messed up, and they forgot who I was then, because there was no way that I was going to let them do that to my uncle. So yeah, I went in there and I put the steel chair to Jack Knight's back, and you can see the clip. He about, just wanted to die. Tears, crying, wanted to cry. But that was one of those times where, yeah, you're messing with my family, so I'm swinging that chair for the fences. And that actually ultimately, like you mentioned, did lead into a chairs match. And that was a wild match as well. I want to say that was very close to Jack Knight's debut. So it was a big moment for him. But yes, we did end up with the chairs match, and of course, Marcello Fuego came home with the W.
So you kind of returned what Uncle Pops did for you, kind of giving him a rub close to his debut.
Yeah, in a way, I guess you can say that. But at the end of the day, too, man, I'm really just way too new to be trying to give anybody a rub. I'm very, very new myself. So I just try to, stay humble and just keep doing what I can do. But that's one of the things that I definitely aspire to do. When I come down later down the road and it's been, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years that I've been working, in professional wrestling, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to give the rub to the younger people, the younger talent, to help them out, give them opportunities, help, pass off any knowledge that I have. That's kind of, that's pro wrestling. That's what we were taught and what we learned, someone, gave to us, and it's our job to one day give it on to someone else. So yeah, I can't wait for those days.
Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you did extra work for TNA, no?
Yeah, me and my cousin, we both did extras work for TNA earlier this year in 2025. I can't remember if it was either February or March. But yeah, that was a really cool experience as well. We got to do an angle as security where we JBL actually was there, and Matt Cardona was in the angle as well. It was a really cool experience for sure, and it's something that I can't wait to do more of for sure. So, hopefully get my foot in the door and maybe one day get an opportunity. You never know.
What was catering like?
Okay. So this is gonna be fun to tell. So with catering, I remember the food being nice. It was good. It was all right. But ironically, outside of wrestling, I used to work at a place called the Frank Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, which is an arena. And we host shows, concerts. I've done so many people's shows: Drake, Kanye, Janet Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on. But the point is at that place, my job was known as a stagehand. So our job is to take everything off the trucks, build the show, the lighting wall, the stage, put the speakers up, everything. And then when the show's over, we put it back in the truck so that they can go on to the next city. So that's how a stagehand works. Well, since I was a stagehand, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown would come to Austin, once or twice a year. And so that was actually one of the biggest things that kind of made me decide I really had to join wrestling, was just being back there and wanting to be that so badly. Like I got to see everybody. I mean, from Triple H to Vince to Undertaker to Kane, Usos, John Cena. I even talked to Cena. I talked to Bray Wyatt. These are things that I hold dear to my heart, especially the conversation that I had with Bray. But the point is working with as a stagehand, building the show for Monday Night Raw and all that. And it's ironically, fun fact too, actually met my wife for the very first time at a SmackDown event. I was actually like running the carpet for Miz TV, and I saw her in the audience for the very first time. But anyway, I digress though. WWE's catering, next level. Like TNA was good. It was. I ain't trying to get in trouble and get no heat from nobody. But WWE's catering was next level. They had everything. Like, oh man, it was so good, and they allowed us to have it too, and we're just like stagehands. So it was cool, man. It was cool. But TNA was good too. Tasty.
And obviously when you were working for WWE, you're not necessarily in the business at that time. But being backstage for TNA, does that kind of give you a window of, where you want to be, in the future?
It definitely is very inspirational to see that level that you work so hard to get to. Like when we worked TNA, yeah, as I mentioned, Matt Cardona, like Tess Blanchard, there's so many talent that we saw, and it's just like, at that time, since we're working, doing matches, it's like, man, we gotta keep working. We gotta get there, so that we can be the next ones in this ring. And so it's very inspirational for sure. Just having to sit there and watch it, knowing that, you know, that this is something that you really want to do in your career. Some people do, some people don't. Some, you know, every wrestler is different, but that's one thing about me is I'm going to be working my ass off to try to get to that stage and show the world what I can do.
You know, you mentioned, you know, having a conversation with Bray Wyatt. What was you guys talking about?
So with Bray, it was actually pretty. This was, it was just very, very unique experience. As stagehands, we're not allowed to talk to the talent. We're not allowed to talk to any of the wrestlers or anything because that's how you can get fired. But for whatever reason, Bray was in the audience, kind of like maybe fifth row back, sixth row, seventh row, something like that. And he was watching, as you mentioned, you know, opportunities with TNA. There were some wrestlers that were having tryouts. They were doing tryout matches. And he was actually watching like the brand new younger talent. And he just called me up there for whatever reason. And I sat down and we talked, and it really kills me that I don't remember more of that conversation, but it's because it was really just that genuine and it flowed like that. We were really just talking human to human. But one thing I did tell him was that, you know, man, from an outside person's perspective, I was like, I know you're the wrestler, so it's different. I was like, but as like a fan, or as like people who view you, you know, from just the regular level, you're absolutely killing it. And I believe you're going to make it into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I remember he made this comment. He was like, if I make it that far, or if I make it that long. And at the time, I kind of thought, you know, he was referring to like the WWE doing the cuts. Because at that time, that's when they were starting to do them, where they were just cutting lots and lots of talent all at once. So I thought he was kind of referring to that, but later I found out that, you know, I think he was more referring to his health. And so it was unfortunate, but yeah, that's definitely a conversation I hold dear for sure.
Oh yeah. I've only met Bray twice, as a fan, and genuinely one of the nicest human beings I've ever met, when it comes to, really, you know, really signings. Was.
That's awesome, man.
Oh yeah. Now, I think it's time for Marcello's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Man, you know what's crazy is I wish I had, because like I said, we've hit 20 cities, man, this year. So I wish I had more crazy road stories, but ironically, yeah, all of our trips have been very smooth. We haven't really had any problems. Like when it comes to like bizarre things, like yeah, man, it's like I said, everything's really been very smooth. Anything, it's got to be something that's happened. Well, for one, this is just one thing that stood out to me is we've been to Arizona a few times, and I'm pretty sure most people know, but Arizona is the desert. But I don't think people who haven't been to the desert really understand what it's like being out there. And the thing is, for me, is, you know, I'm driving and gas stations alone are few and far in between. Like, you better get gas when you can, because you can really run out of gas out there. And then it makes me like afraid of like if you blow a tire or something out there in the middle of nowhere, like, and you try and call somebody to come help you get a tire, you know how long it'll take them? You know how long it already takes them?
Oh yeah. And
then my next thought is hospitals. Like, what happens if there's an emergency? Where are you gonna go? Like, the hospitals is like 45, 30 minutes in between, man. Like, there ain't it's really scary. And so in my mind, like, I don't like riding in the desert like that. I really don't. It's one of those scary things where, like, if anything goes wrong, you're cooked. Um, but other than that, man, we haven't really had anything crazy really. Of course, well, I guess I would say that is fortunate. We don't really want anything crazy to happen, but
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that's all I would tell people is beware that desert. Man.
Well, on a scale from 1 to 5 stars, how disappointed are you that GTA 6 got postponed again?
You said 1 to 5 stars?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 stars. Sure. call in everybody, the military and all that. It's very unfortunate. I'm getting tired of them pushing GTA 6 back. But you know what I think, and this is just me. I think if they're smart, that this is a work. Because wrestling, so I think that they tell everybody that they're gonna push it back, and then they actually just drop it on the day that they said they were originally going to. So hopefully that happens. Hopefully, or either that or I'm crazy. So, but if it really does come out, next November, it's like I'm one of those people where it's like, man, y'all pushed it back so many times where y'all really could keep it. I haven't played GTA in like so many years, so I can live without it. Like, just quit teasing me. That's all I'm worried about. Like, oh man,
Stop giving me hope.
yes, just please, because at this point, I almost don't even care no more. But then I know when it releases, I'm gonna be on it like an addict. So.
What's your favorite GTA right now?
I mean, GTA 5 is, of course, really good, but for all the OGs, they know San Andreas is the one. A lot of people like GTA 4 too. New York was cool, but San Andreas, being able to have the gang members and the hot coffee and it had jetpack. Yeah, like it, man, it was dope. San Andreas takes the pick. That's the OG for me.
Okay. Now, can you tell us about your tattoos and if they have any significant meaning?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I don't even know how many I have. I got quite a few. But majority of them, either are about family or about God. That's basically the majority of what all my tattoos are. Like the one around my neck that has like my family's names on it. Like my mother and my grandmothers on both sides, my grandfather and stuff like that. And then I got my cross, of course, one of my favorite ones. Yeah, and the rest basically about family and stuff like that.
Any plans for new tattoos in the future?
Yeah, I mean, tattoos is one of those things, like, you never say never. You never really know when you'll get that itch again. I don't really have any plans for it. Like, I don't have any pieces that I actually are wanting right now, but there's some space that I would like to fill in. So, yeah, I'll definitely get more eventually, I'm sure.
Okay. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually made 2 movies, no? I believe Audios and Electra?
Oh, wow. Hey, dude, you do your research, man. That's crazy.
Yes, I do.
So Elixir was actually not mine. It was a project that I worked on. I was the editor for that.
Okay.
So that was a short film, yes, and it was called Elixir. I did work on that. So what you see on the screen is what I edited. So since we're talking about, things I've done in the past, along with like editing videos, I also did music for 12 years, and like I rapped and did hip hop. Also did pop. I did music with a group for 7 years, and then we split up. I did music with my brother. I ended up doing music with my wife, which was really cool. And so, but yes, editing and film work was also. I went to film school in San Antonio, at the Art Institute. So yeah, I've always loved being behind the camera, but also in front of the camera, acting, but also editing and things like that. So yeah, I was the editor for Elixir. That movie was pretty cool. And then when it comes to Adios, man, it's crazy that you know about Adios. Adios is a very, very sad story. And not the movie. The movie was actually supposed to be like a horror movie. But it's a sad story because it was an independent film. I wrote it. I directed it. I acted in it. I edited it. I had my hand in all of it. And I casted the cast. You know, we had like script hope. We would read the script together. I had to bring them in from out of town and all this crazy stuff. But yes, it was a story I wrote. Basically, briefly, it's just about like this rapper who gets like a phone call from this record company that says basically if he can like show them that he can, you know, have a hit record or whatever, that they'll sign him. But he only has like today to record something. And like all the studios are like closed except one that's like haunted, so people really don't go there. So he decides to go anyway because he doesn't really have a choice. But it's just one of those thrillers, like the old school Chainsaw Massacre type deal, where you know somebody goes and looks to see what that noise was, and then they don't come back, and then the next person goes looking for them, and they come back. So it was one of those kind of deals. But the reason why I say it was a sad story is because, unfortunately, I was very, I don't know, not paying attention, I guess. And the SD card from one of the cameras was in my pants, and I put it in the washer and washed it and dried it and all that on accident. So I lost it was like a whole day or more of filming, and it happened to be, ironically, the most expensive days where I actually had to rent out a whole studio, and it was something I couldn't do again at the time. And so unfortunately, yeah, the movie never released. And so, but I still have the script, and so if I ever want to, you know, do it again, I definitely can. I probably will. So it's crazy that you even know about Adios. So dude, salute to you, bro. Like, that's what's up, man.
All right, so it's definitely not the end of that project.
Nah, and even since then, I've written all kinds of. I haven't gotten as far as scripts, but I've written all kinds of like other things. Not only that, me and my brother worked with a writing team for years on an animated series that we have. We just really are at the point where we need to get to animating it. So we just need to get a budget for it and things like that. But we already have a pilot and everything for that. Like, man, it's a funny comedy. I can't wait until we can do more work on that and get that out there. So I definitely will be more involved in film and stuff like that as time goes on.
And what about music? Like you said, you're a part of a rap duo with your wife. I believe you're still yin and yang. Are we going to see more? You were picking up a lot of traction at the time. So is that something you'd be continuing to do as well?
So we actually did end up changing our name, but the name change is still kind of up in the air. When it comes to me and my wife doing music, we may do music again. Right now, I'm just kind of like letting her do her own thing while I do my thing with wrestling. But no, I'm just staying with music. I'm not doing music either. Ironically, I just recorded a new theme song for Most Wanted, and we're actually about to debut it tomorrow night for the very first time. So yeah, you know, I was recently in the studio. So yeah, most definitely as time goes on, I'll be back in the studio more.
So basically what you're telling me is she's still mad at you for the hairdryer.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is, to be honest with you. Just a little bit of that. She was mad about that hairdryer. Why that was mad. Oof. Yeah, even when she hears this, she's gonna give me the death stare.
You know, besides rapping, you are one hell of a harmonica player as well.
Hey man, you're surprising me. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna toot my own harmonica or nothing, but I have done some work on harmonica. Harmonica is an instrument that I do love to play. Yeah, I even still have it. I haven't played the harmonica in a long time actually, but yeah, man, I love harmonica along with saxophone too. That's another one I haven't played in years, but I love to play saxophone. And so one of these days I'll get back into more instruments and stuff too, because it's been a part of me for so many years.
I was gonna say it's like the harmonica and like Most Wanted is built from freshly out of jail, and I mean the harmonica is literally the musical instrument of jail. So,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah,
thinking,
people didn't know. That's where I learned it. No, just joking.
so I'm like, this is perfect. Like this should go together.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good one.
Alright, I think it's time for the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Man, that's a hard question, though. I mean, I got all kinds of songs that I love, but but me being like a movie person, which songs would really, really matter. So it's a hard question to answer. But just like some of my all-time favorite songs, like let's see. Hey man, that's such a tough one too. I've loved so much music growing up. I could probably tell you easier like which 3 artists it would be than which 3 songs.
Yeah, if you want to do artists, then
yeah, Lil Wayne would be on there for sure.
Okay.
Let me see. I'd probably get Pharrell on there too. And then I gotta get Kendrick on there.
Alright.
Kendrick Lamar for sure.
Any specific song from Kendrick?
Man, he's got some really, really good ones, man. I ain't gonna lie. Not just like the new hottest one, like not like us, man. He's got some amazing ones. But probably one that stands out to me is "We Gonna Be All Right" for sure.
All right.
That's a good message.
Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows we get the soundtrack first. Then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Hey, who's gonna play me? That's a tough one. Especially I guess because like I really don't know like younger actors like that. But dude, what's his name? Oh, I can't believe I don't remember his name right off the top. The dude who plays Iron Man. If he can do that one movie where he was like blackfaced or whatever, whatever he did on that movie, I can't believe they got away with that. But if he can do that and get away with that, then he could play Marcello.
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people with meaning to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
I'm gonna put my cousin in the movie, and I'll probably get Mike Epps to play him. And then let me see, gotta get my Uncle Pops in there. I don't know who I would get to play Uncle Pops though. Let's see. If I could, I'd get Uncle Pops to play himself. He'd kill that, bro. And then I'd have my wife in there, but I definitely would have to let her play herself, or that wouldn't turn out good at all either. So, but I definitely would get Mike Epps to play my cousin instead of the daddy.
Right. We could leave the rest of casting. That's completely fine. We don't want to get you more in trouble with your wife than you already are.
Exactly.
It is sounding like a great movie, a blockbuster to say the least, and you could pre-order the tickets now.
There we go.
On to a controversial subject, pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I don't know why people do that. To be honest with you, I'm not one of those people that like to mix certain vibes, and so like pasta and hot pizza and cheese mixed with like a fruit, especially like a sweet fruit like pineapple, I really don't get it. I feel like that should have never been done. Whoever started that should never have started that. It's just one of those weird off things. And still, it's like you can't really take that seriously. So yeah, I don't know why people do it. So if you do, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to throw shade at it, but it's just one of those things. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, so we are anti-pineapple on pizza.
Oh, for sure.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
My spirit Pokemon. Man, I actually didn't really watch Pokemon like that. But since I'm all Fuego Fuego, I guess I'm going to have to say Charizard.
Classic. Perfect. We love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
You mean like Tony Hawk Underground?
I mean, that's one of them, but that's not the Tracy Smothers acronym.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's the only thug that I know. Tony Hawk Underground.
Well, let me spell it out for you. T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, 'cause a dog can't spell.
Oh, man.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
If they pay me enough, I will whoop a rock's ass. No different than anybody else.
Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope he won. That's a long time to have a match.
He did not, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
He probably should have left that one alone, though.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years? In 5 years, man, I would love to see myself in NXT or in TNA. That's just the truth. There's nothing more than I really want than to showcase like my abilities on like the grandest stage kind of thing. I've always, since I was a little kid, when I watched, my grandpa got me into it when I was little. I always felt like I could do it for whatever reason. I don't know why. It was just one of those things where when I'd watch it, I'd be like, I could do that. Like, and I just never knew how to really get into it. And my uncle was the avenue to pave, like he paved that way for me. And so that's why I'm forever grateful for my trainer and my uncle, like Ray Papadon Campos. And so, yeah, I would definitely say that's where I see myself in 5 years, man.
Okay. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off you as a pro wrestler?
Oh man, we got some good ones. And I got some singles matches, but we got some really good tag team ones too. One of my favorite tag team matches so far would be Most Wanted versus the Texas Renegades, or the USA Renegades. Sorry, that was a really good match. We've also had some really good ones in Arizona against the Peacemakers. So those are some good ones. Me personally, I just recently had a really good one that I like, Marcello versus Tommy Becker. So that's a singles match. I like that one. So y'all can check those out. And they're all on my YouTube, Marcello.808 on YouTube. So yeah, you can check out all our stuff.
Perfect. And you don't have to go looking for it. The link to his YouTube will be in the description of the video below. And those specific matches as well. So you can check out those matches and then binge all his other matches as well. If you haven't seen him, or if you want to see him, haven't seen him, want to re-see him after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Shoot for it.
This is our speed round, or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Fuego, already ready.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Shawn Michaels.
Worst wrestler.
Oh, okay. Anybody. And that's a tough one. It could be anybody. Dang. Yeah, I'm not doing fast on this one. Hey, that's a really hard one, bro. That's easier, like even harder than who's the best. The worst wrestler.
Would you like the default answer?
What was that?
Would you like the default answer?
Oh yeah, what's the default answer?
You have chosen Eva Marie.
Eva Marie. I don't want to do it like that, but yeah, okay, I'll take that.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Is it, like which era? Does it matter?
Anybody, any era.
It would definitely be me versus The Rock. That'd be a banger.
Not The Rock from the other
Yeah,
version.
not that Rock, the actual Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yeah.
Gotcha. If
I could, it'd be a triple threat with Stone Cold, but that's just, if he add on to it. But yeah.
Hell yeah, why not? If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
I would have to say DX, bro. I would be so damn lit. Coming after DX's song, I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Clinging on for a dear life.
We would have also accepted. Tastes great on toast. Squash, vegetable or fruit?
I say nasty, whichever it is. But I think squash is a fruit, as weird as it sounds.
And that is the correct answer. It is indeed a fruit.
Yeah, nasty one. Yeah.
It has seeds, tomato logic.
Okay.
New Japan wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Trunks to butt cheek ratio. That's funny. I don't know. Just as long as it don't bubble out, you know what I mean. As long as it's just it's just regular. You know, you don't see like the bulge of the cheek. I think once the bulge of the cheeks, like, I think that's probably when you get some bigger ones.
Okay, so no bulging.
No cheek bulge. Yeah.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I have. Normally don't talk about Darby Allin unless we're talking about people who have a death wish.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
No, I appreciate it, James, man. It was truly an honor, man.
The honor was all mine. And once again, where can we find you on social media and merchandise?
You can find me on Instagram, Marcello.Fuego. And like I said, on Facebook, Marcello GQ Jackson. YouTube is Marcello.808. And that's where you can find all my stuff, all my single stuff. That's where you can find all of our tag team stuff with Most Wanted and with my cousin Xavier Gotti. That's where you can check out and find all of our upcoming matches, all of our previous matches. Like I said, we did a lot in the first year in 2025, and so y'all stay tuned to see what we do in 2026.
Hell yeah. And you don't have to go typing it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow and buy a damn shirt.
Yeah, because James says so. Yeah.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
Oh, yeah.
For our special guest, Marcello Fuego, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.